When we're talking about tenses, we think of only three: past tense, present tense, and future tense. But when it comes to grammar, there are a bunch more. And in fact, there are a lot more than you even see on your screen right now. But these are the ones we're going to focus on for our grammar lesson today. So just as an example, I've chosen a simple verb that we're all familiar with for the sample. For present tense, this is going to be the simplest form of the verb. In this case, the verb to know. So in present tense, you would just say, I know that now. Past tense, yesterday I knew that. The future tense is going to be the same conjugation as the present tense. You're just going to put the helping verb will in front of it. So I will know that tomorrow. For the past perfect and the present perfect, you don't have to worry about what these are really. You just need to know that the verb does change after a have, has, or had. So for past perfect, I had known that by the time I was 10. Present perfect, I have known that for years. The verb form is the same. It's called a participle. It's known, and it comes after the had or the have. So let's take this and apply it to our vocab word. So present tense, again, is going to be the simplest form of the verb. In this case, that's going to be slay. I slay dragons all day. Past tense, this isn't a regular verb, so the past tense is going to be weird. It is I slew. Yesterday I slew the dragon. Future tense is going to be the same as present tense. We're just putting a will in front. So I will slay more dragons tomorrow. And then for the participle form, the past perfect and the present perfect, this is going to be our vocab word slain. So I had slain my first dragon by age 8. That's the past perfect. I have slain over 100 dragons so far. That's our present perfect. It's also worth pointing out that we're also going to use that participle slain if we use the passive voice. And just as a refresher for active versus passive voice, I made a mistake is going to be the active voice because the subject, I, is actively doing the verb, made. I made, and then mistake is going to be the object. So this is active because the subject is acting versus a mistake was made. This is still a complete sentence. We've got a subject and a verb, but in this case, the subject isn't doing anything. And if something is not active, then it's passive. So since the subject, a mistake, isn't actually doing anything here, it's being passive. Even if you want to add who made the mistake to the end, a mistake was made by me, this is still going to be passive voice because the subject is still mistake and the mistake still isn't doing anything. It's still not acting, which makes it passive. So the noun that did the mistake, like I made the mistake, that's on the back half of the sentence. So I've got two sentences here. They're both past tense, but one is an active voice and one is a passive voice. So let's look at our active voice example. Tybalt slew Mercutio. Straightforward sentence. We've got our subject Tybalt, and he is acting. He's doing something. He slew. Mercutio is the direct object. So this is a simple past tense. We're just going to use slew. Whereas when we switch to the passive voice, we need to use the participle form slain. Tybalt was slain by Romeo. Tybalt is the subject of the sentence, but he's not doing anything. He's not taking any actions here. He is passively being slain by Romeo.